SANAS in particular gets its mandate from Accreditation Act, the full name being the Accreditation for Conformity Assessment, Calibration, and Good Laboratory Practice Act, Act 19 of 2006. The role of a national accreditation body is to ensure that the country has got an authoritative body that looks after accreditation as a non-profit activity. Accreditation by its nature is not for profit because it is for third-party attestation, which means it is for confirming that those that do certain kinds of work competent to do that. Hence, a national accreditation body is very key in making sure that it plays that oversight role in terms of all the conformity assessment activities within the country. Now, let's talk about the activities of those that we accredit. Let's take it for an example, say a testing laboratory that tests parts that would go into a motor car, as an example. And these components are going to be exported to another country to be put into a vehicle. These parts and the testing and the inspection of these parts have to be conducted in an accredited laboratory. So those results are accepted, goes to the other side. Now, I mean, again, if you look at, for instance, an exporter of food or fruits, for instance, if a company or a farmer in South Africa exports fruits to the Netherlands or to the UK, and these fruits need to undergo certain tests as part of their specifications, accreditation plays a role whereby they are tested once and then they are accepted everywhere. So that facilitates trade and that reduces the technical barriers to trade. So the motto for accreditation is tested or inspected or certified once, accepted everywhere. This is how the confidence is built. Number one, as an accreditation body, for you to become part of the global accreditation fraternity, international accreditation cooperation, ILAC, where there are what we call mutual recognition arrangements. So to become party to those mutual recognition arrangements, a national accreditation body would be evaluated in accordance with the international standards, ISO 17011. And that is how, if everything goes well and you pass the evaluation, then the accreditation body becomes party to this international arrangement, mutual recognition arrangement. So basically, these mutual recognition arrangements tell you that this accreditation body or the certificates that are produced by this accredited body can be regarded as equivalent to anywhere in the world. And once you become a signatory to these mutual recognition arrangements, all of your conformity assessment body's results will be accepted as equivalent anywhere in the world. You see, accreditation by its nature is in the voluntary space. ILAC and IAF are voluntary, cooperation bodies, and as such, when regulators specify technical regulations, they would specify their local requirements, which are very particular to their country. And in that regard, they may specify that the national accreditation body will take care of the accreditation requirements in that regard. So you might find that although this mutual recognition is accepted everywhere, when it comes to the regulatory environment, regulators tend to specify their local national accreditation body. Let's talk about protecting health, safety, and the environment. That would necessarily be in the regulatory domain. And typically, the regulator would have all their requirements put in place, and they would then say for a body to do business in that specific area, they must be accredited. So basically what they are saying is that they don't want to be doing this work themselves. They're opening it up to other capable operators, but the operators need to prove that they are capable of carrying out this work. And the only way to do that is to put accreditation in the middle, because then with accreditation, we've got all the requirements and all the criteria that goes with the specific field. We agree to that with the regulator, and then we put it in a technical regulatory a TR document. So there we would specify the accreditation requirements, and also over and above what the regulator needs to look at as well. So it is a synergy whereby we look at the competence, and then the regulator would look at additional requirements that they've put across. We, as an accreditation, we accredit the certification bodies, and they certify their clients. So accreditation is then overseeing of the certification bodies. We are not in competition. We are not doing the same thing. We are looking at the competence of the certification bodies to certify to those various standards against which they must certify. Accreditation is it's sort of a network of all the accreditation bodies, and then this network is pulled together by the regional accreditation body. In the African case, that would be the African Accreditation Cooperation, AFRAC. So all the accreditation bodies in Africa will be affiliated to AFRAC. For an accreditation body to be party to AFRAC, they also need to be peer evaluated by AFRAC. AFRAC would then grant the national accreditation body that status of the mutual recognition arrangement. The AFRAC would look at the continent, and then the ILAC and IAF would look at all the other as a network. So we are all connected together. Each region would have its regional accreditation cooperation. As an accreditation body, we only charge for the service we give with no profit. We are not making any profit whatsoever. So we charge for the service directly without any profit. So as a small farmer, what I would advise you is that you need to look at the volumes. For instance, let's say you are into the fruit business. You need to look at your volumes and whether it is advisable for you to have your own laboratory or to use the services of an already existing laboratory. So if it makes sense to you to have your own facility, then of course, go ahead. But if you do not have, the muscle, and also not going to get any benefit from having a laboratory, players in the field who can assist you, because the services are there. But if your volumes demand it, then by all means, start looking at having your own accredited facility. And also, you need to look at the regulatory environment in your products that you are dealing with. So standards build confidence for stakeholders, and also they make life simpler for those that use them, and also if applied in a harmonious way, reduce what we call technical barriers to trade. Then look at those standards to say, is this product manufactured in accordance with this standard or specification? So accreditation would then look at competence of those that do the testing or the inspection to say, do they know what they're looking for when they're testing this product according to this particular standard? So the standards are entered intertwined in accreditation because the documents that we use are based on standards. Accreditation is based on standards. Technical regulations as well, compare them or put them side by side and say technical regulations are standards that have been made, mandatory. Technical regulation, because technical regulation is specifically geared to safety of the product that the people are going to be using and the health of those that will be consuming this product, and also what the manufacturing processes are doing to the environment. So the technical regulations will be specific to how and why. Let's not talk about export for now. Let's say you just want to sell your fruits to Woolworths. You need to know those quality regimes within Woolworths. You need to speak to somebody from Woolworths to say, from the start, even before you even start, how and what do you require from me? Are there any restrictions in terms of GMO or whatnot? So you can't just build something and then try and sell it. You need to know from the scratch, who am I producing this for? What are the initial requirements? And then also, what are the quality requirements for that?